Hey, Red. Nicely done.
There you go. I'm sitting here watching Mike Trout's out there doing some drills, kind of going around a little bit. It's a good sign to see Mike out there on the field.
Oh, yeah. Listen, it's great. Believe me, I love what we've done to this point. I love how we've hung in there so well. And I love all the progress you've made. And just imagine if you had everybody well. It's really an exciting thought. I love the culture that this group is building right now. The young guys with the veterans, although I'm telling you, the veterans have a great influence on these young guys learning how to act. And that's really what it comes down to. How do you act? How do you handle a moment? How do you handle a situation? It's been fabulous to watch and listen to. And then, yeah, I'm saying getting Mikey back, get Anthony back. We missed Dexter this year. There's a lot of stuff that didn't roll right for us to this point. But in the meantime, guys that have had opportunity have really taken advantage of it for now and for next year. So, there's times to be patient. And I'm rooted in development, as you know. So I'm watching all this stuff unfold, and I'm kind of pleased with it. And I'm in a roundabout way, yes, getting Mikey back right now and seeing if he could add to a late season surge would be wonderful based on the experience these other guys have gotten.
And I know it's not till this weekend, but what's kind of level of excitement for to go to Williamsport and be around these little leagues?
It's wonderful. Hopefully my shirt gets here in time. I ordered a shirt with my Little League team's name on the front. It's not the exact one, but I'm really proud of that as a kid growing up. I played for Unico. And listen, I remember that like it was yesterday, Correo Stadium. And I even remember when they posted the batting averages on the wall inside. And even as a 9-year-old, I saw my name on the top of that list. There was times when I would go upstairs and I'd be the PA announcer. It might have been 11, announcing the number of people in the stands and the hitters as they came up. Correo Stadium, there's a water tank in left center field. And if you hit that water tank with a home run, wow, that was a really big deal back then. Your parents were there all the time, aunts, uncles, friends. It's a great experience. It's one of those that really help shape you as a human moving forward. I was a baseball player, but beyond that, just the self-discipline it takes to participate, the failure that you encounter and have to overcome, the fact that you didn't always get a trophy if you came in second or third place, and you wanted to try harder. All those things, that's what it all means to me. So when I go there, this is my second time there, I think of all that stuff, all of that. And so for everybody that's had the opportunity to do that, I think most of the time, not everybody has wonderful memories of their childhood or growing up. I'm fortunate that I did, and I do. But I think of all that stuff, the coaches I had, Carlo DeMarco, Ray Saul, Ernie Valent, all these people that had a big impact on me. And even my catcher when I pitched Andy Matrosino. I remember all this stuff like it was yesterday. And so, yeah, it will not be lost on me at all. And I think it's great. Not just good, it's great.
And what positions did you play in Little League, and who did you kind of look up to as a major leaguer back then?
I was a shortstop. When you're 9, I was a shortstop. I made 4 errors on opening day. You're just 9, and you're playing shortstop against 12-year-olds. And Mr. Valent came out and he challenged me on whether or not I should have made some plays. And I think I was accountable back then. I said, yes, I should. He said, no, you shouldn't have. It's a bad bounce. Mr. Valent had these big bulging eyes, almost like the guy from Young Frankenstein. Man, he'd get in your face and it was scary. But that a shortstop pitcher, and then I became a catcher eventually too. So I caught a little bit. But my favorite players back then were always Cardinals. I was a Cardinal, in and out. And Bob Gibson was my favorite. No question. Orlando Cepeda took over for a bit because I wanted to hit like him. But anything with Cardinals, I learned to, the front of the uniform Cardinals with the bat underneath and the birds. I would sit at class at Our Lady of Grace, and if the nun wasn't looking, I'm doing that on a pad somewhere from heart. I knew exactly how to draw that thing. You're obsessed, absolutely obsessed. You'd wake up when you're 8, 9, whatever, go play fastball. We called it fastball, the rubber ball against the wall at the high school. Right next to it, you painted the box on the wall. and you play there all day until somebody whistles. I mean, this is the stuff I'm not trying to be old guy here. This is the stuff that we need to do again. You want to get kids interested in the game. Don't always have it organized. Just try to figure out a spot that they can go to and figure it out themselves a little bit. That's what we did. I don't think that's a bad method at all. Everything has to be so structured to the point now where your imagination doesn't get to roam. All these things are important. And so the Cardinals, Mr. Gibson just passed away. I got to meet him and sat with him in the dugout in St. Louis a couple of years ago with Tim McCarver. You talk about a day for me. So yeah, that stuff happened yesterday.
That's awesome. Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome.
Sam?
Hey, Sam.
Hey, Joe. Just wanted to follow up on the thing Red asked about Mike. So him being in the outfield doing some drills, is that reflective of him feeling better?
Yeah, if he's, obviously wouldn't be out there if he didn't. Again, I have nothing more to report. Glad he's out there. This is one of those things when he does go through these kind of movements, you got to wait to the next day to find out how he feels, and then you make your next plan your next step.
And so he hasn't done anything like this really since the Minnesota trip, it seems, at least from our vantage.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either. It's been a lot of it. He'll go out there, do some things, and possibly be a little sore, and he has to back off and then try again.
I wanted to ask, kind of follow up on the stuff you were saying about Suarez last night. I mean, what he's done over the last, I guess, month and a half, does it kind of change maybe or enhance your perspective of what he kind of mean for the future of the his future and maybe pitching long term in the rotation?
I think he's validating it is what he's doing. I mean, a lot of us have felt that way. Marcel Laxman's been his strongest advocate for a couple of years now. The difference is, and I can't emphasize this enough because I don't know that it always comes through, and it shouldn't. The difference now is that he's being himself. The difference now is that he's comfortable in his major league skin. He's always been this good. He dominated the minor leagues for a long period of time. And I know when he came up, first of all, a couple years ago, everybody thought he was tipping pitches when he was getting hit. That might be true, but it also probably was. He just really internally wasn't ready. There's this thing that has to happen internally to you where you really feel like you belong here and that you can compete on this level. We all have to go through that, whether as a writer, as a manager, as a player. You have to go through that moment where you really feel like, okay, I'm as good as these people around me. I can do this. And then when you arrive at that point, then whatever you have, whatever that talent is, has a chance to surface. It really doesn't on any kind of consistent basis until you arrive at that point. And I'm speaking from personal experience here too. So with him, this guy, I tell you, he's entertaining. He's entertaining. He works his butt off. The veterans have been really good for him, really good, the veteran pitchers. And to his credit, he's followed. And so now he's arriving at that point for our future where he's learning it the right way so that as he becomes established, the next young guy that comes up, he can pass that along based on what Quintana said to him or Cobb said to him or Guerra said to him and grabbed him by the hand and made him do certain things. So it's all working as it should. It's a natural progression. It's not going to, you can't snap your fingers, water, and it's going to happen overnight. When you're a gardener, a farmer, you got to be patient, man. And there's a lot of that in this game.
Lastly, just on the 9-hole, obviously, I know you kind of, I know how much you value that spot in terms of turning the lineup over and stuff like that, and you've switched it up a few times here. Are you just trying to find, I guess, somebody that can stick there, or what's kind of the thinking with looking at different guys in that position?
It's who's playing today and who the pitcher is. Their pitcher today can be really difficult on right-handed hitters, more so than lefties. We have 3 lefties. So I really wanted to give Jackie a chance to move up a little bit higher because out of those 3 candidates, I think he's been the most consistent. And I also think, like I said the other day, that Lagares is ascending. So you get 9 names to choose from. And Jay played a couple, and I wanted to give him the day and play him tomorrow. And the same with Goose, left-hander tomorrow, so we could do different things. So when you see things like this, it's my best guess on the right way to do it tonight based on your personnel. It's not the 27 Yankees, and it's not these teams maybe that have a rote lineup. And furthermore, I think that's one of the most overrated concepts ever when people are concerned when lineups change, because some of the best teams do that all the time based on handedness and the built-in platoon system that you set up in the off season. We're reacting to a lot of different maladies that we've had this year. And I just like the idea of Jackie a little bit higher today based on RBI. And I like Lagares there based on what he's been doing lately. Zook in the 8 hole, Adele in the 7. Adele's kind of protected. I don't want to apply too much to him yet as he's ascending. So there's all my thoughts. Those are my thoughts for today.
Cool. Thank you, Joe.
Welcome.
JP.
Hey, JP.
Hey, Joe. Speaking of batting order, with Iglesias batting fourth, maybe I'm looking into this too much, but you like him there a little bit more when he's playing in the city against the team where he kind of established himself as an everyday guy.
That wasn't lost on me. Again, go down the list. I mean, look at the batting order today. You're a sports writer, but you watch this every day. What would you have done differently?
Oh, I don't presume to be able to do this at all.
No, I'm just, again, I'm not trying to be smart. I mean, it's just look at the names and it's what you say is right on. And again, I wanted to go left, right, left, right, left. Like I said, yes, I like to present 2 in between, but their guy today is really overbearingly tough against righties over lefties. So I wanted to make sure that our lefties got to the top. The thing about Iglesias, to me, is normally the ball's in play. So if some of those guys in front get on, even though his numbers are better against lefties than righties, he still has a pretty good chance of moving the baseball. So these are the kind of things when you don't have, again, that set lineup and you're playing a guy on a particular night, you look at the opposition and you try to break them down and see, like last night with JF hitting third, based on some history with Cole and the fact that I thought he was laying off bad pitches more recently and had a better, more organized strike zone, which did pay off. So you just got to pay attention to your guys. Again, unless you have this set thing going on, sometimes you have to do these kind of things. But I concede the fact that he played in Detroit mattered to me.
Going back to Mike for a second, with him trying to come back from an injury, this is a relatively strenuous road trip as regular season road trips go. Mm-hmm. How much of his presence right now reflects your desire and his desire to be around the team, like you said? And how much does it reflect some optimism that maybe he had over the weekend that he was pretty close to being able to do what he's doing today?
Right on. All of it, all the above. Even like having Dexter here. Dexter wants to be here. These guys, I'm telling you, I keep coming back to the same mantra. These guys are that solid as a group. He sits in the dugout and he roots for guys. He really does. And he comes up to me with his observations. He's locked into every moment of the game. Dexter's the same way. Yeah, we want to get him back. Yeah, he wants to be back. And I love the connection. And when you're building or creating culture, does it require somebody to hit 40 home runs and be in the MVP race? Or does it require somebody to show up every day and be supportive for everybody around him, even though he's unable to play and even though he is an MVP candidate on an annual basis? And how does the rest of the group read that? See, these are the kind of things that are interesting to me. And that's what I'm looking for as we start to mold this whole thing. Yeah, I want to win. We all want to win. But sometimes you're presented with difficulties that make it a little bit more difficult. In the meantime, let's do everything else right too. And Michael being here right now is everything about that is right. Everything about Dexter being here, same way. And the support that they show for the rest of the group. So that's how I evaluate it. It's not, I know you guys need to write, and I know everybody wants to know when Mike is coming back, but I'm seeing all this other stuff happening. And I'm watching him sit in the food room. I've never seen a food room so congested with players at the same time, meaning that they like to be around one another. It's good stuff. So I want to stay out of the way. And guys like Mike nurture this. Dexter nurtures this kind of stuff. Guerra is outstanding at nurturing this stuff. Iglesias, Russell, outstanding at nurturing these kind of things. And that's what's happening. It's not obvious, but these are the things I'm most pleased with.
Just to clarify, Dexter's back in Anaheim, right?
Yes.
Okay. Last one for me. I look at the Tigers.
He's here.
Oh, he's there.
He was on the plane. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is same question with him, I guess. Is that a reflection at all of him getting closer to ramping up and wanting to be there for that reason?
Well, he's not as close, but again, to really delve into this on another level, when veteran players like that want to be around, because they enjoy the company of the group and they want to help. I mean, I saw Dexter in the training room, it was 2 days ago after the game I think we had lost to Houston, having a one-on-one conversation with Brandon Marsh. That is as valuable as anything any coach could say to him to Brandon at that point. Those are the kind of things that peripherally, fisheye, and that's what I want to see. I want to see those kind of moments. Talking to Adam Eaton, as we were talking about him leaving, and his the part that he's going to miss the most right now is watching and working with Marsh and Adele. You don't get that all the time. You hear about it sometimes, and some guys will make a nice public attempt, but this is sincere stuff. And that's where a lot of our younger players are benefiting right now, is from all of this. Shohei still needs to be influenced. Fletch, I don't know how much he needs to be influenced. Jared Walsh had a conversation the other day with a player that I was made aware of, that I could not believe how outstanding it was. And it was all extemporaneous. I'm telling you, man, this is the good stuff. This is the foundational things you're looking for. And that's what I'm most excited about.
Last one for me, Joe. The Tigers have obviously a few veterans in their lineup, but I look at their starting pitchers, especially in this series, and they kind of look like the kind of young nucleus that they expect to have going forward. I'm wondering if you kind of stepped back and looked at the matchup before the series and saw any similarities kind of between where you guys are and where they are in their sort of cycle.
No question, and that's the way to do it. It's hard to purchase the starting pitcher that you're going to have for several years. There's guys that have been out there, and they've done really well. And I've been fortunate to have one or two in Chicago. But when you could grow them yourself, man, I've said it, exponentially so much better. You control them from the beginning. All their zits as they're growing up, and they know you. There's a lot of trust involved. It's just the right way to do it. And just i.e. what Perry did in this last draft, that was spectacular, I thought. Our organization has really been so focused on offensive players for so many years. And it's difficult if that's all you got. I mean, I managed in Midland, Texas for 2 summers and had really good offensive teams. I got my brains beaten in as a manager. You need to pitch. You need to pitch and catch it. Pitch it and catch it. And that is always going to be the foundational stuff. I know you got to score runs. I get it. And we have plenty of that here. As we ascend pitching-wise, just like Detroit, they're going to get tougher and tougher. I think the American League West is so difficult because of the pitching. Houston's pitching, Oakland's pitching is outstanding. That's where we're running into our issues, is with pitching against us, Seattle. That's the issue. It's not their players on the field. It's how good their arms are. And I want, when people walk into Angel Stadium, and wow, look what we're seeing for the next 3 days. And we better get them early, and we want to get to the middle bullpen because the end's not looking too good either. Those are better. That's a better reputation to have than you just hit some home runs.
Thanks, Joe.
Welcome.
Larry?
Hey, Larry.
Welcome. Hi, welcome to Detroit.
Thank you.
Miguel Cabrera is going to hit 500 one of these days. Just your thoughts on his career and maybe what kind of hitter he is today.
Well, I mean, haven't seen him in a bit. I know, listen, he was the most dangerous. I've already did a radio gig and just do a little bit of a flashback, playing the Rays in the Trout. Jimmy Leland was the manager, 3 consecutive nights, top of the 7th, 2 outs, runners on first and second, Miggy coming up with Brandon Bosch on deck. Walking to load the bases 3 times, first and second, moved the runners to second and third. He went to first and brought Randy Choate in to face Bosch. I did not want any of our guys to pitch to him, any of them, in that moment. To me, that typifies what he was like for so many years. He's an RBI machine, and I'll tell you why, because it's not just about the home running. This guy can really hit. He knows how to use the opposite field. He knows what to do with 2 strikes. He knows how to make adjustments in the at bat. He's just a smart baseball player who happens to have power. So that's how I view him. He's complete. I know he's maybe lost a step on defense, whatever, but as an offensive player, from the time I've been doing this, to me, Edgar Martinez is one of the best that I've worked against too. And they really remind me of one another, just because you did not want to see them in a hot moment. So that's him. He's going to get it. He deserves it. It's great for him and his family and the organization. I prefer it not being against us, but if it is, we'll celebrate it with him.
All right. I think that's it for today, guys. So
Cool.
thank you, everybody. See you post game.
Thank you.